All right, everyone, we've got Mike Petersen here. If you have a question for him, go ahead and raise your hand. I'll call on you. Emmanuel Glaze, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Hey, what a great game, Coach. You stuck it out. The team stuck it out at the end. What were the mindset going into that overtime, knowing that you had a big lead at the beginning of the game, and then it dwindled down in the second half, but then you were able to continue with the great play with Elizabeth at the end of the fourth, and then Courtney finishing the game like she did. What was the mindset, and what were you telling your team during this exciting game?
Yeah. And I was just telling them to be themselves. This team is so gritty, and they just compete so hard all the time. And so, it's not like you've got to, like, this team does not need to be amped up. I don't know if you can tell that or not. You know what I mean? They just play so hard all the time. And, and it's chaotic and we love it. It's beautiful chaos. And so mostly I'm just standing over there encouraging them to play hard and make sure I know how many timeouts we have. So it's not like there was a stirring speech going into overtime. It was Elizabeth's going to win the tip. Let's score, stop, score. That was it.
Doug Feinberg, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, just talk about that last play. Was it designed for Courtney just to run the clock out and then shot to win it? Was that what you were hoping to do?
Yeah, and here's the beauty of it. Right? I'm in there getting ready to go all coachy on them. Like, I'm going to get coachy and I'm going to draw. It's going to be the Mona stinking Lisa of plays. Okay? And Courtney Williams looked right at me and said, "Give me the ball." And I said, "Court, that sounds like a good idea." And so we threw her the ball and set her a ball screen. And Courtney Williams is playing so good right now. I mean, the game she had tonight, just 31 and 12 and 7. If I don't give her the ball there, I'm the dumbest man in history. And what I love about this team right now is they get one another. They're starting to get me a little bit. I'm a different cat. I love it when players want to take ownership. That's just the best. And so, that was some high level coaching. Courtney told me to give her the ball, and I gave her the ball. That's some coaching right there.
Yeah. Spencer Nussbaum, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Congrats on the win, obviously.
Thank you.
Can you talk about not even just the final play, but Courtney's play down the stretch and how you've seen her, grow from last season?
Courtney's a great player, and part of last year, she had COVID and it took her a while to get going and all that. But, the one thing you never have to worry about with Courtney is she going to compete? I mean, she's an unbelievable competitor. Like when we in training camp, when we do drills that were competitive or 5-on-5 stuff competitive, you would think it was game 7 of the finals. I mean, that's practice. And so, but that's his team. I'm just telling you, I got since halftime in the first Chicago game, I have not thought about how hard we're playing one time, not one time. So that's 9 straight halves, 18 straight quarters. I haven't had to worry about how hard we're playing.
Camila Johnson, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win.
Thanks.
So Elizabeth had pretty much an all-around game, it looked like, especially from the box score. But she also did some things that weren't even, on the box score. What about her game added to your guys' momentum and the win?
Yeah, well, again, you're absolutely right. E did a lot of stuff that wasn't on the box score, and all of our bigs. Okay, everybody's super focused on our perimeter right now, and they should be. It's a good perimeter. Okay, but our bigs right now are the glue of our defense behind all that chaos, all that running around and trapping, right? And E is so good at. She's like, remember the old whiteout? Right, in the little bottle, and you'd make a mistake on a paper, you'd take the white out and put it over the mistake, right? E's a human bottle of white out. You make a mistake, she just covers it up for you. And she did that all game long. We did some very specific stuff in this game defensively that we didn't get to practice. We watched film and had a walkthrough in a hotel ballroom, and they went out and executed the mess out of it. I mean, we held Benijah Laney to 4 for 12, and we held Sabrina Ionescu to 2 for 11. And Benijah had 7 turnovers. I mean, that's unheard of. Both of them have been playing fabulously, and our players played so hard, and they executed the crazy stuff we thought of on the flight up here, okay, just so well.
Last couple questions here. We'll go to Erica Ayala first. Go ahead.
Thank you. Coach, again, like everyone has said, congrats on the win. You
I'm
mentioned,
so happy for our players. So happy for our players.
I saw that fist pump here in the arena too. So you look pretty fired up yourself.
I'll have a fist pump once in a while.
I wanted to ask you a little bit off that comment about defense. Obviously, it sounds like you did what you wanted to do against Laney and Ionescu. I wonder at the half if you thought any about what you might do with Michaela Onyenwere, who obviously had a pretty big night for New York.
We talked about it. We were very much in a pick your poison mode. Okay. Well, one of the things we talked about going into this game is that the others, that is not Benijah or Sabrina, we needed to make the others try to beat us. And Michaela almost did. And so the shots that she was taking, a lot of them were, we'd rather have her shoot it than anybody else. And then she stepped up like a champ. I mean, she played so good. It wasn't just the three. She's driving, she's rebounding. She played so good. But a little bit of that was game plan. So that's on me. Okay. We just did not want to get beat by Benijah or Sabrina. And Michaela was fabulous.
And last question, we'll go to Glenn Diamond. Go ahead, Glenn.
Coach, Kennedy Carter, can you talk about, she went down, is there any update on her injury? And then filling in after, putting in Odyssey and the roles kind of changing for the guards after Kennedy went out.
Yeah. So one of the luxuries we have is we have a lot of good guards. I've talked about that before. Okay. First Kennedy's thing, I don't know. Okay. She wasn't going to go back in. Okay. But I don't know I don't even have a guess on it. Okay. I know she's in there smiling and laughing right now. So that's a good sign. Right. And I know that the trainer hasn't come to me and told me it's, anything yet. So we'll find out. But now back to the guard thing. We have a lot of good guards, and Odyssey is somebody that's a very good player in this league, and last game she didn't play very many minutes, but she kind of got in there and her confidence got shaken a little bit. And, I tell Odyssey all the time, I just want her to have as much confidence in her as I have in her, because I think she's really good. I mean, down the stretch, we ran a lot of stuff for her because Tiff and Core were kind of dog tired. They played a lot of minutes, and that rotation stayed out there forever, because when I see a lineup I like, I usually just leave it alone unless one of them has to come out. Odyssey played fabulous tonight, and I'm happy for our team, and I'm happy for her because, she's had some games where she didn't feel great about how she played. And I know she'll feel great about how she played tonight on both ends. Her defense was fabulous.
All right. Thanks so much, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. We've got Elizabeth Williams here. If you have a question for her, go ahead and raise your hand. I'll call on you. Doug Feinberg, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Hey, Elizabeth, I got two for you. First one is, how big is this win for you guys? You've been on a roll lately, but to pull out a game that could have gone either way at the end there. And the second was that fourth quarter, the last couple seconds, you had the big basket to tie it, and then that even bigger block on Lane at the other end. Just talk about that last 10 seconds for you in regulation.
Yeah, this one was huge. Obviously, any win on the road is big, but to get, our third win in 5 days is really, really special. Especially early in the season, you want to try to steal some wins on the road. So I thought that was really important for our team. And as far as the last play, I think it was just kind of just staying with it. At the end of the game, it's usually not the first shot that hurts you, it's the second. So just try to stay with it, and defensively, just try to be in the right place. Benijah had been playing really well, and she wanted to really take over, but I was just in help side and got the block.
B. Terrell, go ahead.
Congrats on the win, Elizabeth. How are you?
Doing well.
All right. So obviously the team is on a roll, as I mentioned previously, but you're still not at 100 yet due to missing some pieces. And, when you get Cheyenne back in the fold, what does it say for the potential of this particular roster?
The potential is really high. We're going to try to continue to do what we're doing, and we always want to be better than we were the day before. So that's going to be the theme. I'm excited for CP to get back. I know she's excited to be back, but we're just going to continue to build on what we have.
Spencer Nussbaum, go ahead.
Hey, Elizabeth, congrats on the win. I wanted to ask just about the defense of the front court. I mean, obviously that's the anchor of this team right now. Can you just talk about what's clicking on that end of the floor?
Yeah, I mean, especially today, communication was key. And so I think you saw just constant pointing, communicating, especially with a team that has the guards that they do. It was important for not only the guards to talk, but for the post players. So I think we had a lot of strength by talking to each other and just being in the right spots.
Last couple questions here. We'll go to Emmanuel Glaze first.
Hey, Elizabeth, how you doing?
Good.
Let's talk about this, between how have you guys in the inside jail? The first two games are like you and Tia were trying to get used to each other. And like you said, but now 4 straight games, you seem to be doing well with especially Monique coming off the bench. How you feel as the inside presence of this team and you being the anchor of the team, how have y'all gelled together to continue that SWAT club like y'all always have for the past few years?
I mean, honestly, it takes time. I think with T, she obviously has championship experience. So she knows how to be back there and be a communicator and leader in the post. And so I try to talk to her as much as possible and get knowledge from her. And I think when we're on the court together, we try to build on what we do know. And Mo is high energy coming off the bench. That's always been her MO. And she's just done a great job of that as we've continued to build on these wins.
Last question, Edwin Powell, go ahead.
Hey, Elizabeth, you guys never seem to be shaken in that overtime period. What were the conversations like amongst you guys on the bench and everything just during that period? Because you guys seem really confident.
Yeah, we felt like heading into overtime, we honestly had the momentum. New York hit some tough shots, but we were the ones who forced the overtime. We had the big plays at the end. So we felt like the momentum was ours and we just had to push through. And Courtney was obviously on fire. And, she said like, hey, I want to take this last shot, and did. And we're the type of team, like we trust her. We trust the hot hand. And yeah, we're talking to each other to keep the momentum going and keep talking.
All right. Thanks so much, E.
Thank
Congrats.
you. Hey.
All right, we've got Courtney Williams here. If you have a question for her, go ahead and raise your hand. I'll call on you. Doug Feinberg, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Hey, Courtney.
What's happening?
Confidence is never lacking for you.
Nah, never.
Said in that final timeout, he was all set to draw up the Mona Stinking Lisa of plays. And you hit him and said, just give me the ball. Is that basically what happened in that last timeout? Then you won the game?
Yeah, literally. I said, Coach, I need the ball.
Just talk about your game. I mean, 31 points, but the last 6 in overtime, you hit every big shot that Atlanta needed. Just meant to pull out this victory for you guys.
I mean, it's big. I think a lot of people doubt us, but we know what we could do when we play this type of basketball that we know that we can play. So, we believe in us and we know what we can do.
Camila Johnson, go ahead.
Hey, Courtney, congrats on the win. You kind of touched on this a little bit already, but just watching you shoot those last 2 threes, your composure, your poise, even afterwards was calm. You were, what was your mentality as you shot those?
So Monique Billings, right before I shot that, we went into the timeout and she said, "Y'all playing real timid." I took that kind of personal. And then we came back and Crystal Bradford said, "Y'all all acting like y'all don't want the big shot. Who gonna take the big shot?" I took that kind of personal. So, I was like, yeah, this what I live for. I live for big shots. So, my confidence, like he said, never lacking. So I wanted the big shots.
Terrell, go ahead.
Hey, Courtney, congrats on the win.
Appreciate it.
Speaking of that big shot, before the season, there was a lot of talk from you and several of the players basically saying, we got some dogs on this team.
Sure.
So seeing these past few games and that dog mentality, the hustle plays, the blocks, the physicality, what's a message that you want to send for the Dream?
I think it's exactly what you said. Exactly what Tip said last game in her interview. We got some dogs. And just know when you play us, we coming. That's really it. That's what it is. We coming every time.
Danny Thompson, go ahead.
Courtney, Danny Thompson with the 3-point conversion. Great to see you as always. 2 quick ones for you. Last year, you told me in the Wubble that you live for moments like this, like the shot at the end of the game. Number one, where did that confidence come from? And when did you realize that you were born for those moments? And 2, going back to regulation, how many times have you seen Benaja do that move in practice before Elizabeth blocked her shot? How many times have you seen that move?
Yeah, I think I get the confidence from my dad easily. And my dad always been confident, and I think he instilled that in me. And as far as Naj go, that's my homie, man. I was talking it up with her all game long, talking a little trash to her. And Naj been going crazy all season long, man. I'm so hyped for her. I'm so happy for her. But when it's game time, it's game time. We all know what Naj do. We knew Naj wasn't about to pass that ball, so he came over, got the block. Team effort, especially with somebody that's been playing the type of basketball Naj been playing. We can't go down with her or Sabrina taking that shot. So I think that was our game plan. We stopped them. We're going to have to live and die with somebody else taking that shot.
Last question, Emmanuel Glaze, go ahead.
Hey, Court, I had a different question, but I'm just going to change it. When it went through the net, what was the first thing that went through your head? Was it ball game, see y'all later, or what was it?
I'm cold. I think you hear me saying it. I'm cold, man. I got ice in my veins. Y'all know what's up with me.
All right, Court, thanks so much.
Appreciate y'all.